thank you so much for joining us, Rajeev and Osheen. First of all, I'm going to make it a little formal, but I'm going to introduce myself. So my name is Jigyasa. I lead engagements here at Masters Union, and I'm pretty excited to get to know Rajeev and Osheen a little bit more. I have had the chance to speak to them before, but I have an array of questions to ask because I know that you guys have an array of questions that you want to ask them. So we're going to get started with that. I also have Sharoz, who is going to be helping me out in the back end today. And a lot of you might have done your interviews with him or might know him. So he's going to be answering questions towards the end if required. But I'm sure that our panelists are already amazing. So any technical questions he will answer, but rest of them I'm sure we can cover as well. Okay, so should we get started super quickly? First of all, Osheen, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, just like a tiny little brief so that people get to know you, and then we'll pass it on to Rajeev.
Yeah, sure. So hi everyone. My name is Osheen, and currently I'm a second year student at Delhi University Kamla Nehru College, and I'm majoring in psychology and minoring in finance and business. And I'm a part of cohort 1, and I love music and anything that's related to business. I have recently started my own venture. It's called Up. It's an infotainment platform. You can check it out. I'll share the link at the end of the session. And over to you, Rajeev.
Thank you, Osheen. So I'm Rajeev. I'm currently working with IHS Markets and as a validation analyst. Prior to that, I just graduated in 2020, the great year, you guys, we all are revering it still. But I think I'm really thankful after that. I've learned a lot from that year. And that also helped me to come to the Masters Union, the great college. We have been listening all along. And I think the college hype and as well as the course they have been giving right now in the market has been a really thing which I have been looking forward to. Rather than going to abroad and going studying somewhere else, it's a better approach to come and study in our own country, which we actually have been seeing these days. Yeah. That's pretty much the thing I've been looking with the master, and currently I think that's going amazing.
Awesome. We'll get to the detailed questions in a bit.
Sure.
First, the question that I'm sure everybody else is wants to know is that what else are you doing apart from this KPMG course? Because everybody knows it's a hybrid course. In case people who are watching this don't know, obviously we have classes over the weekend, and during the week you are you can you're free to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So Osheen.
Yeah. Okay. So I have full-time college 9 to 5. Apart from that, I am interning at Loconav as a market research intern, and I'm doing this course. Along with that, I'm managing my own startup, and I'm also preparing for CAT and GMAT, which is so embarrassing to say in a meet, which is all focused on this course. But one advice that I'll give to you guys is that we all are doing plethora of stuff, but this course is particularly manageable and very experiential in learning, and you'll enjoy it. I mean, personally, I come from humanities background, and it's by chance that I'm here. And if a person like me finds it manageable to do, you guys can sure as well.
So you can multitask, and now we know everybody else can. But it is made in a way, but you're doing a lot of things, which is awesome. And you, Rajeev?
I totally agree. It's actually manageable because I'm currently working with IHS Markets also, and I have a fellowship program going on with one of I just got selected with them, luckily, and I have GMAT to prepare for, and as well as CFA level 1 exam. So even I got a lot in my basket, I'd say.
Both of you have got a lot on your plates, and you're doing brilliantly, right? So this is almost. And by the way, just to give you guys context, they're almost at the end of the term 1. So it's not like they've just started or something like that. They've been through a lot of events and a lot of classes to give you guys insight. Yeah. Okay, so a little bit about the program. So why did you choose applied finance program, or what got you interested into this?
Like I mentioned, that I am minoring in finance and business, and I plan to go into the field of core corporate, probably HRM or business psychology or behavioral finance. And I felt like that apart from my college coursework, I need something that's more offering more hands-on learning, and this was the best opportunity out there. Yeah. And then I applied and sat for the interview. Even I got a scholarship, which you guys can apply for as well, and there are a certain criteria for it. And yeah, that's why I'm here. Yeah, Rajeev.
even I have a similar case. I would say I was looking forward to something which had like bridged the gap between the industry as well as the normal college teams. Because I think the college we all are studying in probably give you the bookish knowledge, not the practical knowledge. And here it have a really different approach. And obviously we have all seen the videos and all everything. And it's really actually the thing they have been telling you. If you come and experience it, and the people here are so light-minded, and they can like be so good with you. And like I think our class group is so diverse and it's so great. We've been talking to each other and we get to know about a lot of things we actually don't know and no idea about. So I think it's a really good approach to go with. And I would say that was the one thing I was looking forward to.
Definitely. And the networking part is I mean,
Amazing.
amazing. It's
Is
amazing.
that because it's people from all over India and from so many different diverse
I'm from Kashmir, Rajeev's from Delhi, and we have people from Bombay and Kolkata too in our cohort.
Bombay, Goa, everywhere, like all over
Everywhere,
India. Even I think from someone is from Canada also.
Yeah, I think
There's a
one kid is from Canada as
So
well.
Canada also.
lots of diversity.
Lots of diversity.
Lot of diversity.
Okay, awesome. So the next question then comes to, since everybody's from different places, how did you both get to know about the program?
Okay, personally, when you get into the realm of preparing for GMAT or CAT, you look up business schools, right? And that's when Masters Union came up, all the hype and the clout around it. And I found this program and I asked around a bit, inquired like whether it'll be taught by KPMG teachers or the masters in the Master Union Business School. And then I researched on my own and I gave them the interview, waited for like few weeks, and then I got through. That's how I
Yeah.
Even similar scenario, but yeah, I was looking toward the colleges, but yeah, I had a different aspect rather than like sitting in India. Rather, I would be preferring to go to abroad. But yeah, I think the Pratham's ideology as well as the board of directors we have. So I think there's like that's one of the great things, and their ideology has been really at to a greater extent, which we look forward to. And probably I think this it actually helped me a lot also to get into this program, because I've seen there are many other colleges who have a great name in the market, but Masters Union being at like just a newborn and just coming to a great extent, and they have been doing so great.
Under a year.
Yeah, like
Totally.
it's enormously. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I can't expect anything better than this in a small period of span.
Exactly. For people in college, I'd say, like, even though we're not eligible for MBA programs, but associating a good business school's name in your CV just adds a lot. I mean, it makes a difference.
And KPMG along with it.
Yeah, KPMG. Yeah.
So it's a brand
name. Okay, awesome. So the next question is also about programs, Uni, but since both of you said you come from different profiles, right? So how does this program, how do you think it fits into your career path? And like you said, it's a name that gets added to your CV, obviously. But what are you hoping personally to achieve by the end of it?
Yeah. Okay, I'll go first. So with the variety of roles that we have, at the end of this program, personally, I'm very much into research and applied market research. And I think for me, this course would prepare me for applying to financial research roles or analyst roles. And since I'm from humanities, and it just adds and completely gives a direction to my career into the corporate. Like usually when people transition into through MBA from humanities, the most difficult course that they find is finance. So I think eventually when I'll go to a B school, I would already know the nuances of what finance has to offer. And that's what I'm looking for to get from this course.
Wonderful. Rajeev?
Yeah, so like similarly, the things that they have been teaching us, and the curriculum is being made in such a manner that you are like knowing what you are expecting, like in advance. You know they will be expecting what in the industry. If you don't know these days, probably they won't even see your CV. That's the problem. So I think they have been able to get to that and helping us out, luckily.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the one thing.
Course comes with the placement cell guidance, and they would teach you the nuances of the application tracking system and what all words and keywords to include in your CV. And it's just a very holistic program to have apart from your college or job, I'd say. Yeah.
I mean, this is just a personal note, but I wish that when I was graduating out of college, because again, I came back from literature and a French background and I went into marketing, but I had experience in marketing. And my weak point was finance. So I really wish that there was a course like this back then, which just gave you a more practical approach to it. Because I don't believe in theory. I always think that practically, if you do it, it's great. So I'm very jealous of you guys, just so you know. And this is not because I work for Masters Video, but genuinely, I think that this is something that especially our country needs, like practical approach to. I mean, that's why it's called applied finance, right?
Yes.
So awesome. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to go back to a little bit of the basics now that you guys are going to complete term one, right? So let's just see how your journey has been so far. So starting from the beginning, I know a lot of people have given their interviews even today, as we saw in the chat. So how was your interview experience and how did your onboarding and stuff like that? How was that experience for you and how did it go?
I think first I had applied for I was looking into applying for it, but I deferred, I'll admit. But then when I sat for the interview, initially I did not know that they offered scholarships. And then I submitted my mark sheets and the first year grade of my college and applied. So the thing was that I was the state ranker in my 12th board examinations, and I kind of marketed that off in my CV and during the onboarding process, and I got through. But other than that, I think Sharoz took my interview, and we both kind of shared this bond on Kashmir because he's a Kashmiri Pandit and I'm from Kashmir. And the interview process was really, really fun for me, and all the relevant questions were asked. And apart from that, I think what I'll advise you guys is that there should be a prerequisite knowledge of some form of, you should have a finance coverage. Otherwise, if you will completely come off of this course as someone who doesn't have any experience in finance or core commerce, I think thoda difficult hoga, but otherwise it's for everyone who wants to do finance. Yeah.
Awesome. Rajeev?
Yeah, it was similarly, I think my interview journey was really amazing. I think the person who was taking my interview was so cool with me, and he had a great ideology and he was so field-minded. He was asking about my startup at the time we were starting in the COVID. So we were actually in the metaverse all. So we were into DeFi also, decentralized finance. We were thinking about how to come up. All the things were going in the market right now also still. So we were little before the market, so he was so curious and we went to a chat and like we didn't even realize the interview just went like that. My interview was, I guess, scheduled for 15 minutes. It went more than,
yeah,
sorry?
I remember it as a fruitful conversation.
Yeah, it's more like a conversation, and I think it was morely the time tenure was for 15 minutes, but it went till 45 till 50 minutes, and it's so long. I was like, we're talking. We just need to cooler that conversation down. So anyhow, but that was so amazing at that very moment. People are really friendly here. So.
I think everybody has the same. So Gungun is saying the same thing, that it felt like a normal conversation, and Abhilash is also saying, yeah, the interview was really fun. So anybody who's thinking of going to that interview stage and thinking, oh my god, it's going to be an interview, you've heard it from like 4 people now, that it's definitely. Oh, Rajeev is also saying same experience. Okay, lovely. It's like we have such a group of people here, and just to tell you guys, I did not tell Osheen or Rajeev to say anything, by the way. I literally just said we are going to have a conversation, just like the interview, right? And I'm hearing these for the first time. It's making my heart so happy. Okay, cool. So academically, how do you think that it's been so far, and like what are you looking forward to in the future?
With this course, right?
Yeah,
of course. So I mean, definitely it's gonna add, brownie points to my CV, right? And since I come from a diverse background, I think I'm just kind of taking on whatever I can get my hands on. And in terms of technical learning, I think it's very practical, because abhi tak in term one we have started from the accounting equation and the ratios, and I think they're very pragmatic when it comes to financial roles, and you cannot do away with them. So they were taught very nicely, and we were also taught Excel, and aage jaake SAP and Power BI aayega, which I'm hoping is as great as this term went. Yeah, and I think my primary reason is that I wanted to learn finance and applied finance properly and get a pragmatic hold of various nuances that are needed in jobs. And in terms of placement, they have been like great, especially with the placement cell. They have sat us down, arranged webinars, properly screened our CVs, asked for them, shortlisted them, and let's see what happens ahead. But I think generally, holistic experience is great. It's been great, and especially visiting the campus, which Rajeev and I did on the very same day. It's been great. Yeah,
Campus is amazing.
campus is amazing.
Okay, awesome. That's so great. So by the way, yeah, just to add on to what Osheen is saying, anybody who wants to come on Saturdays and Sundays can come in with their cohort and attend the, although the classes will still be online, but it'll be like a fun, nice experience to like sit together and like attend those classes and probably just have those discussions. So if anybody who's interested in joining, they are most welcome to come to the campus. It's hybrid. It's called hybrid for a reason. So we do allow that to, work out. But I'll pass on the question to Rajeev, and from the next question onwards, we'll flip it. First it'll be Rajeev, then it'll be Osheen, okay? Because he starts his sentences similarly, and now I want him to come up with his own answer.
Yeah, I think Osheen speaks that's the all thing I can speak about. But probably I think Osheen speaks a lot, and on that, and there's nothing for me, I'd say.
No, go for it. So, what about you? How has it been academically, and what do you see like it going forward? What do you think is going to add on in the future for you?
I think probably I am from the same background, so I even I am feeling it. They're pushing a little limits of ours to an extent. Yeah, sometimes because I'm working, though it's really because my work is a little far different from what I'm doing right now. So I think it's a really thing we all like have to do. We have to push our limits and get some to a stage. And the SAP and the BI are the
apart though, right? Like that's what's going to set you apart from anybody else who's with the same experience.
Yeah, even the CV, the team which were helping with our placements, I think they have been sitting with us, and they have been helping, and they're actually understanding. Because even I have got some calls from them like they want to understand what is there and why you wanted to do that. And every step by step they're asking, and they're helping us in every manner. And we started with the pre-placement at this stage only, and that's really amazing. I've never seen any college doing that, and it's really amazing to do it from the first semester. So like you know how the journey goes, and you're like set after this also. In case if it comes up, I think we will be I would say self-sufficient for it, that we can do it by ourselves also in the future. So they are like they know what they're putting in us.
Yeah, that's the goal, right? To like give a holistic learning and to make you guys like prepared for the real world. That's the whole point. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a pause to my questions because there are so many on the chat. Okay, so let's address those a little bit and then we'll jump back to the other question segments. Yeah. So Soumya is saying now she's 200% sure to join this course. So yay. Awesome, Soumya. I'm going to call you after this and make sure that you are. So Yash is asking how startups in the initial stage can be benefited. What do you mean by that? Oh, you mean by the course? Anyone want to answer that?
Yeah, I can add to that. I mean, with my startup, it's a NPO for now, like it's a non-profit. But I think anything finance can be applied anywhere. So once you have a hold of things such as technical as the ratios or the accounting statements, I think it's viably workable in any venture you go. So even if it's not your own startup, you can add the inputs to someone else's. I feel like, and if you are looking into making a profit or generating a revenue, then finance comes in handy.
I'm really sorry for the voice again, but yeah.
You agreed.
Yeah.
We could hear conviction in your voice.
Yeah. So the thing
is this course useful for someone interested in doing? Oh yeah, of course. I am looking into the same thing. Yes, of course. So the thing is ki, any MBA that you'll do, you will be taught basics of finance. And that just makes sense because a manager ought to know everything from every domain unless you do a specialization. So if you're looking into HR specifically, I think having knowledge of finance is just a brownie point on your CV because I'm not saying that HR and marketing are not as technical or operations, but I think financial knowledge is sporadic and omnipresent, and it'll just help you. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I want to add to the previous question that was about startups. So I had my own business for about 2.5 years, and since I'm a very creative person, so I did all the designing, I did everything by myself. But where I thought that like when you have your own startup, like he said, I think initial stages is when you actually need to know finance, because if you don't know it, it's going to backfire on you, because anybody will tell you anything and you can't just trust anyone, especially when it comes to the initial stage, because you're not hiring a CEO at that point, right? So I think that's actually the best way, and take it from my experience, you should have a very good applied finance knowledge.
There is a question, how difficult it is for someone who has absolutely no idea about finance. Okay, if you are like decent with numbers, you are good to go. But to be honest, I think if you've taken a few Udemy courses or even papers in your college related to business or finance, you're good to go.
Awesome. So MG Bhuvanesh, sorry if I'm butchering anybody's name. I'm going to register for CA intern. Will I clear my articleship? Oh, I think it's a very technical question. But do you mean by like through this course?
Well, this course will help you.
Yeah,
I think, I mean, accounting and auditing is something that they're teaching us. So, I mean, and we're going to work on case studies as well with the KPMG mentor and team. And I think, it's going to provide you a more practical and pragmatic experience of what lies ahead in your articleship.
Awesome. Rajeev, I'm going to direct a question to you because he's like, oh, all my questions already is getting answered. Okay, so a lot of people said that they're also preparing. So I'm just going back to the earlier question so we don't miss out on anyone. Is this course a master's degree or equivalent to a master's? Sridhar had asked that. Rajeev, do you want to answer or should I give it back to Osheen?
Okay, I think I can try with this. But it's actually not actually the master's program, but it might be an equivalent to it.
Yes.
It can be. You can't say it's a master's program already.
Yeah.
It's in a hybrid program. It's on a weekend. So probably you have to go with the whole program for the year. And if you want to study in depth, but yeah, it is so much equivalent that the practitioners of the industry are teaching you and they know what they are. And you might be having a plus point than anyone else in the market right now, that you can go ahead and like do stuff rather than have like a person who's going for a master's comparatively to you. So he might not be having that kind of field knowledge than you have currently. So I think that's probably the best.
I think it's the best of both worlds is how I would put it, where everybody is always debating between should I go and get a work experience and understand the practicality of it, or should I go and get something in paper which says that I have graduated from a good place with a good standing. So this gives you like a combination of both, where it's a good standing, it's recognized, KPMG is involved, and then on top of that, it's also practical knowledge both ways. And you're also doing an internship in the
the internship, the virtual internship, like it's with the program. So 6 months they'll teach you, and 6 months you are all set for doing the on.
So basically we are practicing what we are being taught actually.
Yeah.
So we have what we are like studying. So it's a great thing rather than just gulping up all the knowledge.
Definitely.
It's really a practical approach, I would say. And it's a great thing. I think ISB even have the same thing, but master's unions has been doing it a little better right in these days than taking over the ISB, and that's why the alumni has been shifting and diversifying to this master's unions.
Yeah, awesome. So one more question is from Harendranath. Again, sorry if I'm speaking anybody's name wrong. I am MBA specialized in banking and finance. I'm trying in the past 1 year to land in investment banking industry, but I'm unable to I think crack even one. It's becoming rare to even get an interview email or a consideration email. Any of you want to take that, or should I take that?
I mean, I can try. So I think this course is, I'll be honest, it's not it's not gonna provide you specialization in investment banking. It's applied finance, and investment banking pay, they would kind of give you the nuances of the classes of it, but it's not gonna be applied in the internship. It's just finance. So.
Yeah, but also I think we had a pre-placement talk with KPMG where obviously that is one of the options, and because you also get to attend all these events which are career building and resume building and all of those things. So probably the issue that you're facing is the fact that you have an MBA, but the applied part of your degree is not there, as well as maybe you're not holistically prepared to join a company, and that's why you're facing issues. And I think that's where the course would come in and actually give you that finesse over your technical degree is my take on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's asking about the networking part. So yeah, I mean,
no, he was saying in terms of getting a job letter.
So the thing is, during a pre-placement talk, there were roles that they were explaining us, and usme they incorporated investment banking.
Yes,
that helps.
Yeah, even I guess there was one person in the starting from the Barclays. He was the investment banking MD from India, and he was there. He was helping us out with that also. The people had questions similar to these, like we all want to go for the investment banking and the consulting. They are the two hype in the finance world. But yeah, I think he was helping us out, and he was saying that why not? You can end up in those roles also. It's an opportunity, but you should not only focus on those. There are so many. There are so many different career paths. Yeah. It's just a beginning towards this with this course.
I think I'm going to also take this opportunity to tell you guys that since cohort 1 is finishing their term 1, from their next term and for the cohort 2 and 3, we actually now have a specialized career center within our own Masters Union. So we're going to be hosting events twice a week, every week, and then getting all of these questions and everything that is being asked here. We're actually going to be covering it and doing those kind of events. We are actually doing a pre-placement, not a pre-placement, like a intro to that career section day after tomorrow, which we're going to send everybody who's here an invite as well. So make sure you come into that. So you come to know what all, how Masters Union and this applied finance course is going to help you get into that career journey as well. I see a lot of raised hands. Guys, we have a lot of questions coming in, so I'm going to try and address them. But Mihi's one more question is, in your first term, what were the weekly commitments in terms of number of hours?
Weekly commitments in the first month, just the weekend, because they didn't give us any assignments, but we've got one. And so the how it works is they'll teach you a certain topic, and then they'll give you small assignments to work on so that you can practice what you've learned. And it's not rigorous at all. It's just you have to put in that weekend certain amount of time, and rest of the week you're free.
Like probably 1 or 2 hours probably add on to the classes. I think you will be more comfortable with anything.
Exactly. And the lectures are recorded as well, so in case you guys have commitments, you can just attend it over the week.
Like if you're working like us, so probably you'd be
and they're here on a Monday evening with us. So you can tell that they are committed to this for sure. So Raksha is asking, is it online? Yes, it's a hybrid program. So basically, actually no, I'll leave it to you guys. Why don't you answer it?
So you have an option of going to the campus, and you have an option of attending it at your house, at your home. But like what I'll suggest is just keep it alternative. Maybe once a month you can visit the campus, and all of you can meet up and network. And the campus is really beautiful, and you can attend your classes in the seminar room. But most of the people are working or have colleges on Saturdays, so that's why they've kept it hybrid, and that's why like it's over the weekend. Otherwise it's manageable, and you can go to the campus every weekend if you want.
Yeah. Even I try to go to the campus on every Saturday because I have an off. So I prefer to keep my Sunday as a free. After my class, I go somewhere. But yeah, prefer to keep Saturdays so that I have a dedication that I'm going to the campus also, and I need to study. And I have an overview like what's on the world going on. People, they are so like-minded. Even the other courses, the master's programs also, they are there, PGPTM. And they're so great. They are helping us out. They're talking to us and they have been like empowering us.
Especially the PGP students. So when we went to the campus, the PGP cohort of 2022 was there, and we get to, interact with them. Some of them, are in like similar groups like us, Abhi, and the close bonds have been formed, and it's great. Like the campus life is great. And okay, someone's asking, where's the campus? It's in Gurgaon.
It's in it's in Gurgaon. It's in Cyber Park. So if
Yeah.
you want to come by, you are most welcome to do that.
And placement expectations. So, I mean, we are also in our second term, like just going. But I think if you are looking for something related to finance, core finance roles, especially in, as an analyst or as a risk manager, I think this program is great. Although even we are gonna explore what lies ahead, and this is what we guys can tell you. Yeah.
Yeah, because we are in the first semester only. We're just gonna end up, and I think probably till now it's going great, and for sure it will go great from the next time too. So that's the one thing.
So like I said, I think there are questions about placement and career, this thing. So obviously we've had one pre-placement talk, which has already been with KPMG, but we will be inviting, as like they said, they're just in their term one. We have a lot in store for them in the upcoming terms, where different companies will be coming with different kind of roles and things, and recruiting them. So for example, with KPMG, they had a pre-requirement of 1 to 2 years, but everybody attended that thing so that they understand what it is that they can look forward to even later. So it's not like, your KPMG degree is just going to suddenly expire. It's always going to stand true. So once you've got more experience also, you can come back and just be like, okay, I'm eligible for this. What about placements? Can we expect 100% placement guarantee job? Or what is the track record? So this is still a cohort one, but of course you must have seen the placement records of Masters Union, and we are aiming to keep it the same, because we know that everybody has that potential, and we want to, like I said, we're going to get a lot of people on board. And speaking about the other interactions with PGPs, I'm just going to take this, I'm using this as a platform to announce a lot of things that are upcoming, because I'm super excited about them. We'll be introducing the same clubs, not even the same clubs. We are actually going to be making the hybrid and the PGP program students clubs together. So even if you are in different cities or whatever, there will be one vice president who will be from the hybrid. So they'll manage all the online engagements of the same events. So going to be different events, and the president will be from PGP because they're already established presidents. So you will get more opportunities to connect and network and work with and understand in whatever field it is that. So Osheen is interested in music, so there is one for music. If you're interested in social entrepreneurship, you're interested in consulting, we're going to have.
So recently we had an event where they kind of gave us an opportunity to kind of engage in like pseudo investment, and I think a lot of people from our cohort participated in it, and even got cash prizes. So I mean, all of this is like really fun, and I think we have more events ahead like these.
Yeah, we had that, and that was amazing. We were like, I was not having that kind of idea about what's in the even cryptocurrencies and all in the trading, because I'm more into investing roughly. But the kind of knowledge we gained from that time, and the tenure, that how you can like get, or what you can get out of the markets, and the knowledge was so enormous, you can't even tell right now. Like it's like so short, right? And this tenure is so short for us to describe that thing.
Yeah, there are so many questions coming, guys. We really want to answer all of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just drop an email ID, because we might not be able to. We still have 20 minutes, but we might not be able to answer all of them. So just type your questions and email it to us in case we miss it on this particular chat. Okay, we're not trying to ignore you at all. Okay, I know we have hands up and all of that. Okay, so will it be a group research team, or can we go solo? I think I don't know if you're referring to the curriculum or you're referring to the activities. Osheen, you want to answer that though?
Actually, yeah. So I think Abhi, we are divided into groups, but for the assignments, it's individual, but we still kind of manage to do it together because there's like a bonding between the cohort. And actually, we're planning to do one this evening at 9.
Yeah.
And yeah. And other than that, I think I mean, as the course progresses, we'll also know. But one thing that I would like to tell everyone is that the pedagogy of the masters is very practical. It's just not rote learning. And for someone who has बहुत ही basic knowledge of finance, I felt like I learned something. Yeah.
Okay. Let's answer these two questions because they've come like multiple times. Okay. So one is by Ghazal. Can you brief about the course curriculum? If you can just walk over just the framework of it, that we can cover.
So you can find the curriculum on the website as well. And as far as I can remember, abhi to, like we've done the basics of financial ratios, and like I mentioned, the accounting equation. Then we have done payroll, and I think aage it's gonna be thoda sa more technical in terms of the course that will teach us. And you can just head over to the website to know exactly.
So like there are some tax auditings and all SIP, SAP, PI, and many much more. Even the financial ratios being just a part of it, just the basic fundamentals. You have to know how to read the financial statements and everything. So it's like they're gonna teach you everything in the depth.
Yeah. So a lot of them are asking about when is the course going to commence. So it depends on which cohort you're from, because on this particular webinar, we have everybody on different journeys. So cohort 2, if you've already enrolled, is going to start in the 3rd week of April, and the orientation is happening at the end of this month. The cohort 3 will start a little bit later. We'll discuss the details, but again, just reach out to your counselor and we'll share all those details with you. So it depends on where in the journey you are. And if you're still applying, cohort 3 applications are just the deadline's approaching. So either you can come in for that, otherwise you will be moved on to the next cohort. And Vedant has also asked this question multiple times, Vedant, so we'll answer it. I am planning to join my family business, which is flexible packaging industry. How helpful will the course be to me if you look from the management perspective?
I think, I mean, for family, any kind of business, this course would help you, because I mean, you'll be better equipped with the technicalities of the finance field, and just put more input in your own family business. I feel like, yeah,
it's not only if someone is looking towards only the business aspect, it's not only for business also, but I think you should also look towards the other aspect of your personal finances also, because it's been growing these days. Everyone, like a person, I think these days the social media has helped us so much that a person probably for 16 years old has been investing it, and it's been a trend these days, and it's really great.
It's really great.
Taken over the market like anything.
After joining this course, I opened my Demat account finally. Yeah. And yeah, this just goes on to tell that for, like Rajeev said, I think personal growth to bahut hua hai, especially when it comes to money or personal finances.
Personal growth is one thing I think that is also taken part. That's been growing. I started investing,
becoming a better person, like a more confident person when it comes to finance and gender.
Definitely.
True, definitely. That's 100%.
Perfect. So somebody, Anupam, had asked in accounting and finance field, how many subjects? Okay, the sentence is all over the place, so I'm trying to get it together. Is applicable for BCom. So basically, how many of them would actually help within the BCom?
Yeah, the basics are essentially, I mean, same. Of course, it is more towards finance side. Matlab, you wouldn't be studying core accounting or tally and stuff like that. But matlab, it's very similar to what you guys have been reading in BBA or BCom. And I think initially for like the first 3 classes were just the basics for people like me who weren't from the field. And rest assured, I think then it gets more technical.
Yeah, so it's basically the fundamentals are the same everywhere. But
he's a BBA graduate, right? You would tell.
Yeah, I am. So yeah, I have an idea about what's they're teaching all. But the thing is, the fundamentals always remains the same. But afterwards, when you step up, you will have to know the knowledge about what's going in the market and what's up to the mark, like the standard of the market right now, what is required right now. And if you don't go up and cope up with that, probably you'll be leaving behind, like you'll be left behind in the market. And I think that is the one reason probably these days we actually are not able to get the jobs where we are seeking towards, which I think most of us have in view of. even I was facing a problem with the COVID time. That right, I started my own venture. I had no problem with it. I was really happy. But yeah, then other things came up. I had to see the markets also. So currently, IHS market is what has just taught me these things also. So I would have rather joined it earlier. I would be great.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. So now we have one question from Gaurav. Gaurav, I'm sorry I cannot unmute you because this is a webinar format, so I cannot. But what is this all about in internship, any course? So in case anybody's just joined and they have no idea what we're talking about whatsoever, which is going to be crazy because we've been here for like 45 minutes. But basically, this is a course by Masters Union, which is called Applied Finance by KPMG, and KPMG faculty is the one who teaches it. So it's a collaboration with Masters Union as well as KPMG. And I'm going to leave the rest of the details to you guys. If you just want to quickly in one line give a brief of what this course is. Let's use it as an opportunity.
So, I think like the most marketable point in this course, which I personally felt like was the internship with KPMG. So I think if he's asking in that regard, so the course will train you for 6 months and tell you, the basics and the technicalities of applied finance. And then ahead, we'll be working on actual case studies with the KPMG masters, like we'll have mentors. And this is the, duration of the program would look like. So
yeah, so it's the great part where that we are working with them, and I think when we are working with the smart people in the group, obviously we'll get to know about their thinking and the kind of perceptions they have about some kind of cases.
Yeah.
It's always like when you're solving a case study, everyone has their different point of views. So I think when you're in the market and you know what's going on, and they are so great practitioners and they're teaching you, I think that kind of approach is really amazing. Probably, and it's not only going to help you with the KPMG. I would say it will help you to take the other internships. Not only in, I would say they can be BCG, Bain, anything. They're like big consulting firm, or there's so many other companies right now in the market who have been looking towards to employ people, and they have like huge demand of them. But obviously the gap is there, and that's what Masters Union taking on.
Gaurav is saying, how do we enroll? Gaurav, I'm going to leave this to Sharos. He'll reply back to you on a personal message and tell you the email ID and the contact number that you can get in touch with. Anupam, okay, please reply. Guys, you have a lot of questions. So I think I wouldn't recommend people writing the same question 4 times, but maybe you can bring it back to the thing. That would be okay. So how well, Rajeev is asking, how well did this course help you with LinkedIn profiling? I think this is a
lot. Rajeev, you would want to tell.
Oh, that was great actually. Even I was so tense what you have to write in the LinkedIn. Even I have not even started I'd say 2 months back I was having nothing on my LinkedIn, and today if you go and say I have World Bank courses and sustainable finance and everything, carbon emission, mastering, and everything is out there. And probably I'm like just putting it on, and they're helping me out so greatly. Definitely. And they know like how to sort the data and everything, like how you should take they're actually good marketers, would say.
And like I'm just going to bring my announcements back into the picture, but I'm very excited because day after tomorrow in the career event, we're going to be also announcing the fact that we're doing specialized LinkedIn marketing, personal branding for you guys. So everybody can join in and kind of understand how it is that you can market yourself, how it is that you can add all your skills and stuff like that. So like I said, holistic is what we're aiming for, so that you guys like become these empowered people on LinkedIn and everywhere else, right? So yeah, Sharos has already put in the email ID. So guys, anybody who has questions regarding the fees, how to join, when the course is starting, all those technical questions, Sharos will answer those for you.
I'm just sharing it. I have not shared it as of now. And hi guys, nice to see you.
Put your email ID. Hi Sharos, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to be helping us out with those questions. The experience question, I'm still bombarding at Osheen and Rajeev. Okay, so we'll be doing that. 1 second. So there was one question which was, if I have a fintech startup, how is this going to enhance my startup? And how was the startup incubator program? Osheen or Rajeev, you want to take that, since this is about the...
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you are from a core finance background, then I mean, it would add value anyway, because you'll be working with KPMG masters. But if you're from let's just say an engineering or a humanities background, and if you have a fintech startup, so like this is the place to be, I'd say. Like, go for it.
I truly agree. Even see, the financial aspect has been taken over by the KPMG and on the whole team. They know what they're teaching. Obviously, the fintech is obviously the finance and the technology, and we have a program in the Masters Union that our groups have been divided. Obviously, for that we will be given a set amount like the post-graduation program, and we will be taking over some kind of work that probably it's what you say exploration program in which we can just give an idea and get it work into it. So probably we are waiting for that time also. Even I'm very curious to know how
Don't
it's gonna
worry.
go.
I've got everything for term as soon as your term one ends. We are including so many things. I mean, I am more excited. I don't know about you guys, but I am super excited because we want to include so many things and we want your experience to be so like, even though you guys are studying hybrid, right? We are trying to like take these one hour of your time in the evenings and making sure that we together have this amazing experience. Which actually reminds me, I had a lot of questions about what you guys thought about the community and the engagement. So I'm going to get back onto those questions which I had. So basically, I mean, a lot of the companies and a lot of schools also went online and they have been doing hybrid. But I understand a lot of people still have hesitation about going into an hybrid program, right? So in your experience, can you tell us like how you think this community is in terms of your cohort, and as well now that you're interacting with other cohorts as well, so how is this community for you, and how do you think that do you feel like it's bigger than yourself? Like, do you feel like it's not just you and some mentor telling you things all the time kind of thing? So what's your experience like?
Okay, can I go ahead?
It's up to Rajeev. Because I don't want to similarly, Rajeev, I want a very good answer.
Okay, surely.
Go for it.
Okay. So it's definitely bigger than us because I mean, we have a WhatsApp group and a Discord server with our cohort, and I think it's the most active group on my WhatsApp. Like, we talk about everything from politics to trading to what's going on, in the world, in the markets, what are the trends, and I think great friendships have been already built. And other than that, like, whenever we ought to go to the campus, we all confer each other, right? And there are events coming up as well. We recently celebrated Holi on the webinar. Yeah. And I think, yeah, the community thing is really nice. And with community, I think there's also a sense of belonging because we all would help each other out with the assignments, with, if I don't want to use that word, but we've all got our asses covered, and it's great. Like, the community part is great.
Yeah, I think they are really helpful, and the great people always come together and makes a great community.
And I think very similar minded people are there, no?
Yeah.
Like, everyone thinks very similarly. I think so.
Yeah, everyone has their point of view, but they would like to share it in an easy way that the other person can understand it. Might not be like, see, everyone has their own point of view, I would say. And it's really hard for anyone to explain it to the other person and get it like adjusted to it. So I would say the people who
But
are
I think generally, like, our cohort has been very tolerant. Like, even are deliberating on something on the group, aage say 5 people come up and say, this should be like this. I think this should be like this.
Yeah. So accepting that also is a great thing. Not every person can accept it. Like, they might fight, but here it's not like that. They're so open-minded. They're like, yeah, it can be like that. Like, they have a vision of it. They're accepting
that's how you get an exposure to different perspectives as well, right? Which in a limited community, I feel like you would not be able to get.
Yes, I mean, with my kid, I just moved from Kashmir for my college in Delhi, and I think initially I didn't know anyone, but I made a lot of friends from my cohort, and they were like people to go in. It's just been a month, but I already feel like home.
Oh, that is so sweet.
So like, there are so many other people also, not from Delhi, but we know each other so well that it doesn't feel like that they're not here. So there is one Rajeev also. He has gone to his hometown. He's from Manipal University, and he's so great friend of me, like mine. I guess we met last time in the class, and we were like planning some things. Like, when you come back, we will be going to some go-karting and all after that. That was so fun.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. I'm just using this as an announcement board now, but we are planning something where all of you can come together in person and do like one event. Since we know that this community has now come really close, right? So it's a good time to make you guys meet in person. Okay, so do you think that with all of these events and these sessions that we do outside of your KPMG sessions, of course, are like adding? I mean, we've discussed this already, but they're adding to your like holistic growth as a professional and as a personal. Like, do you think you're moving closer to like the person you want to be? Like.
I mean, like, I'm still in college. It's hard to say, but I've grown a lot since I've joined this course. Especially, someone had asked about LinkedIn, right? Oh my God, that's like the most marketable and
Yes.
concrete change that you can see in us. Like it just gets better, I'd say.
Just
Seriously.
like puts you apart, right? Like yeah. Okay. What about Rajeev?
Yeah, so it's not only about the Indian market, it's also about the international market. So it's like we are living in the 21st century. It's not the time we can only work in India. It's like we are a global citizen now. So
Yes.
probably looking toward the whole world, what's the world is going around. And roughly we should have a point of view of like the whole globe point of view, I would say.
Yeah.
We should not only focus on Indian markets and all, because they are being affected today from every single thing. If today's the Suez Canal again blocks, you know how the trade's gonna happen, how the problem's gonna suffer. So everyone is related today.
Yeah.
So probably that's the one example I'm going to give for that. So this is the best thing.
Awesome. That's so great. Anybody else has any, I mean, I know there are still a lot of questions, but we have like about 5 minutes and I want to make sure that we are answering anything that is substantial. I think there are still people who are a little bit confused. I think Gaurav is very confused about what's happening still. I don't know why, but Gaurav, we will give you a call after this and talk to you one-on-one so that we can clarify all your doubts. And there is one question, which is I'm doing ACCA along with BCom degree in finance. So I find this course pretty much in my domain. So can I do this course along with MBA? Or do you suggest that I sit for college placements, get a job, then do the course along with the job and get work experience? You guys get it because I know everybody in your cohort has the same question.
I have the same.
A lot of people had this question.
Question in my life, but I think that it's better to do this course now because in MBA gonna learn this anyway, but here it's like more specialized and you'll have a certificate and an internship to show when you'll go for or sit for your MBA interviews. And I know like the preparation part is hard. Even I'm struggling. I don't know like whether I'll go for placements or land up in a B school, but I think it's just going on well, so I'm figuring out. Yeah, that's your answer.
Okay, so I think, I mean, to give my perspective, I've done MSc, but a lot of my friends have done MBAs, and it's not always applied finance that you study. It's usually theoretical finance.
Theoretical, yeah.
And also, if you have done something like this before, you do your MBA, and when you actually apply for your MBA, you may have lesser experience in terms of number of years, but it does again put you apart, and it actually helps you get into a better B school if that's what you're aiming for as well. So it kind of gets you into a very good position to start with itself, right?
Yeah, I agree with that point because you have like many B schools, great B schools have their prerequisite you should have at least 2 years of experience. Even I think Master's student doesn't have it like right now, but there are so many other people who have like 4 to 5 years of experience and they're coming here. Yes. And it's really great to see them and learn from them as well. Their point of view, even the schools like ISB is also there. ISB also have like 4 years of experience required in advance. Many other international colleges do accept. In US also they have many other, because generally finance is mostly situated with the US thing, and they have Wharton School and the New York schools. They are so highly that they require some kind of experience priorly coming to the college. So that I think that's a better approach.
Right, absolutely. And like I said before, I wish like I had my startup to show, and that's how I got into my master's thing. But if I had this kind of an experience, which really like you don't have to struggle and go out there and work and try to get a job with like KPMG right at the beginning while you're in college.
Not just KPMG, there would be other companies.
No, I mean like something as
a brand.
Like a brand value wise, like you wouldn't in college think about going and just being like, oh, can I come and work for you? And it's not an internship, So that filling that gap between where you are right now, early in your career, and then making that jump, I think is where it helps. Yeah, okay. And
keep bridging the gap between those things.
Yeah,
So it's
absolutely.
great.
Awesome. So I think that's it from my end. I want to end this on time, not waste your time or my audiences. We are going to be sending a feedback form to your emails soon after this is over. So please go ahead and fill that out so that we know that you learned from this. Anybody whose questions were not addressed, I think Charles has already shared email IDs as well as contact details, so you can get in touch with them. And if you guys ask enough, we will probably get these two back along with other cohort people so that they can have a bigger. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I don't know about you guys, but okay. So I thoroughly enjoyed this. Rajeev, you want to say something?
Yeah, like I totally enjoyed it, and I had really fun because everyone knows in the cohort that I like to talk, especially on the calls or rather on the face to face rather than just texting it out. Because these guys are probably like 400, 500 messages in like 15 minutes. I'm like, oh shit, can we just talk on the call? That would be really quick.
Okay, so now we know that Rajeev is a call person. If anybody wants to ask him questions,
Just ring me up.
we'll set up a call for you and you can ask all the questions if you want. Yes.
If any one of you want to connect with us, you can reach us out on LinkedIn or just mail us.
Yeah,
Surely.
Nice, good plugin. Yeah, so like you can see like how confident these two are with their LinkedIn profiles, right? Because they know that you're coming to the right place, you want to get things done. Okay, awesome. So reach them out on LinkedIn. I'm also available on that Applied Finance email ID that I shared earlier. Shadows has already shared everything. Anybody else wants to ask anything else, we are always available, like literally. And for cohort 2 and cohort 3, if you guys have already applied or if you've already paid your admission fees, then we also have already a Discord community. Even if you have not paid your complete fees yet, you can still join the Discord community where we'll be answering all the questions so that you can make your decision faster. Okay, and you can already feel like a part of the community that these guys have been talking about. Okay. Shreya is saying, I feel like a part already. Sharos took my interview. I met Jigas and Osheen in the whole event. Yeah, this is
Shreya, great.
this is so good to hear. Awesome. So thank you so much, guys. I'm going to end this session right here and we'll see you guys soon.